Hello everyone, today we're playing Bionicle, the Scorpion King 2, the online game. In this epic, open-world, PC gaming chair experience, we play as Takua, a deranged amnesiac with no known nationality, as he treks throughout the wondrous island of Mata Nui, looking to antagonize as much of the local wildlife as possible. Before I get into my 12-hour Bionicle retrospective, whose indulgent lore ideology is probably single-handedly responsible for my unquenchable desire to read the appendices to the Lord of the Rings, what I really like about Mata Nui, the online game, or Minog for short, is that it really doesn't hold the player's hand with excessive cutscenes or forced dialogue. Cutscenes are, generally, short and sweet, and the player is not usually bound to exhausting massive dialogue options of exposition to further the plot. Though, if you're looking to have every NPC deep lore dive you can ask them anything from a bouquet of pre-prepared copies of the LEGO Silmarillion disguised as questions. Another wonderful aspect to this deceptively simple Flash game from 2002 is its fucking outstanding atmosphere and how much I just enjoy traveling in it, and the massive variation in biomes and environments we get to see. Through soccer matches in the desert, to riding giant birds in a humid, disgusting, disease-ridden jungle, the Mata Nui Online game has it all. As we adventure to the four corners of the island Mata Nui, which is actually a giant robot's face, it's true, we start to piece together that the Toa, otherwise known as the Tall People, are powerful warriors sent by the island spirit of Mata Nui, who is actually the giant robot's face, to combat and defeat the evil Makuta.
Fuck.
You see, the Makuta is a liberal, which means he wants to lobby the oil industry by forcing all of Mata Nui's citizens to buy an electric car. I mean, he's a bad guy who wants to rule the island Mata Nui through shadow and fear. We even get the opportunity to meet many of the Toa throughout our questing, which were originally released to the Bionicle website every month when the game released back in 2000. And yes, this was a fucking amazing concept for my tiny brain back in 2002, to be able to routinely log back to Bionicle's website and play a game that was getting new content pumped directly into my brain. Back to the matter at hand, helping out around Mata Nui isn't all pointing and clicking. It's action, and danger, excitement, and invigoration, and I think now is a great time to talk about this game's absolutely scrumptious visual design. Graphics are simple, and quite obviously all sprite-based in this Flash game engine. But still, everything has a fucking delectable color palette that I simply can't take my eyes off of. As you get close to things, you can often find visual flares and added details the developers certainly did not have to make for this 2002 LEGO Flash game, but back in the day, game developers used to all be Giga Chad material and just built different. After solving mysterious plagues sweeping through the desert of Pokoro, I journeyed through the mountainous underground to Anukoro, where I assisted in excavating the way to a strange, alien land called Florida, where all the people live in trees and have a healthy fear of the local wildlife. Naturally, it's time someone took control of Florida and fought back against its oppressive giant bees. Ultimately, this does lead to a great little action sequence that looks like it could easily be paneled into a comic book format, which I think is fucking awesome. After rescuing the native Florida population, it's time to head out to the giant mountain which has loomed over most of the game's overworld the entire adventure. Once there, I need to communicate with the local Eskimo people. The Eskimo Bionicle Tohunga Nuju has foreseen that the Makuta will attack on all fronts and that it's time for me to form my own fellowship to assist the Toa in their epic quest. A quest that I'm sure is just as thrilling as walking around a desert for 5 minutes, but I think this is just as cool. As the Toa gather around to confront the Makuta, the Tohunga, or Matoran in later versions of the lore, are forced to stand their ground. Takua's journey is not over yet, as it's now up to him and his band of misfit fighters to repel the Makuta's assault of rabid and corrupted Rahi beasts. The interesting thing that I like about this is that our band of troops are made up of other Tohunga NPCs that we've met and interacted with throughout the rest of the game. Hey guys, welcome to the final level. For this, we'll be playing a turn-based strategy game, but don't let that fool you. There's really no strategy involved, although the game would like you to think that there is. It is your goal to protect the Kini Nui through several waves of Rahi onslaughts. Your units do not regenerate, so knowing the weaknesses of your opponents is paramount. Unless you're only fighting one at a time, then you may as well just hurl discs at it until it fucks off. I believe, though I have no confirmation, that the enemies you encounter are at least slightly randomized, leaving you to adapt your strategy on the fly. My biggest problem was just clicking on the things properly. With that all over, the Tohunga Rohirrim come to the rescue, and all that's left to do is watch the Toa in their final fight against the Makuta, who attempts to catch them off guard by appealing to their sense of righteousness, appearing in the form of a simple Tohunga. In a conversation that is actually slightly chilling, the Makuta does manage to catch the Toa by surprise, but is defeated when they finally join forces. It would seem that Mata Nui is safe. For now. Overall, the Mata Nui Online Game has a special place in my crusted heart, but even if you're not infatuated with Bionicle's train wreck of ham-fisted lore, you might find yourself enjoying this little parcel of a game. It's short, sweet, and simple all the way through with some actual fun sequences. You can also download it from the Biomedia Project website right now. I give it an arbitrary score out of 10, and that about wraps things up. Until my next video 3 years from now, I'll see you all later. Stay beautiful.